Hi everyone, this is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess, and I came to put this channeling out because I feel like this is such a topic that a lot of us need to be discussing at this point in time, and that is dealing with karmic masculines. And I know for a lot of the times we talk about the masculines and them dealing with the karmic, but a lot of the times we don't talk about feminines who deal with masculine karmics doing love magic on them, all types of manipulation tactics to break you down, all that type of stuff. So I'm going to talk about that. First, I want to also say I got an influx of readings, so just be patient. Your reading's on the way. Some of you already got your reading. Okay, some of y'all got your reading early. But I also wanted to kind of use, who I want to use as an example for this topic? Future and Sierra, because he was a karmic to her. She liked him. She thought maybe she could change him, make him spiritual, because they're like two different people, as you can tell, that she's not on that wavelength. And he dragged her through hell and hot water, got a baby out of her. I'm 100% sure that he trapped her because she was high vibrational as a way to like slow her down, that type of stuff. And he's a complete karmic, and you see what he's going through, nowadays, right? So that's an example of a karmic masculine. But I had a dream the other night, and literally what ended up happening was there was this is for a woman. You may be watching this, darker skinned, a little bit thin, and you had like a sexual experience with somebody and you didn't remember it, meaning like I think like you had like a blackout. And this person literally like was using your sexual energy for like some type of ritual, because I feel like they got initiated into Freemasonry or something like that, and they felt like, oh, I can just use this person as like a talent, and I saw that in the dream, and that later affirmed for me, okay, I need to really put this channeling out, because a lot of you are dealing with some of these men, and I put that out in the sex magician channeling. But a lot of these men, they are not your divine masculine. No, they're not masculines at all. They're demons. And they are looking for basically a host to be a parasite off of. And they come and meet you, and you're kind-hearted and you're loving, maybe even naive and not practicing discernment. And then you end up at being like a channel for having your energy harvested from these individuals, right? So first, I want to just kind of go down my list here, because you guys, now I got my notes. And for those of you who saying I talk too fast, there's like a little button on the side where you can actually slow down the video so you can hear me talk very slowly. And also, I told you guys, my Mercury is in Virgo. Mercury is the fastest moving planet. So I think fast, and I'm channeling, and I'm moving quick. Sometimes I'm not talking fast. You're just listening slow. So take that into consideration. So a lot of these karmic masculines, you guys first have to understand that they're jealous of you, basically. And some of you can be like, how can my masculine be jealous of me? He said that he loves me and da-da-da-da-da. Because you have to understand that for some of us feminines, we embody both the masculine and the feminine element in balance. These masculines are very distorted in their femininity and their masculinity. They probably grown up in households where they saw women being subjugated, so it bred some type of misogyny and hatred towards their mother, and they display that onto other women. A lot of the times too, because maybe you're more high vibrational, or you're more successful, or you have gifts or talents that the masculine fails to tap into, or he basically does this thing where he has like kind of forsaken his gifts and his talents and his originality to be follow a different type of people, or to be popular, or to be accepted, and they see you standing in your power and not needing acceptance, and it makes them jealous about the power that you have, right? So they resort to all different type of tactics where they're constantly flipping and switching up on you, betraying you and breaking your heart, because they know that heartbreak is a weapon. Heartbreak is a type of magic. It is. When someone's like doing all these different things to you, backstabbing you and betraying you, that magic, it breaks your heart, right? But then literally what it does is it weakens your spiritual power, right? So how they say that people can die, like how you can die from a broken heart, like for some people, like you really can. And I see a lot of you feminines, like you're not fully in your power because your heart has been broken by some of these karmic masculines who did it on purpose, because they're magicians, right? And they take that energy from your pain and your heartache and your strife and things like that, and then they eat off of it. That's why you see a lot of these different masculines are like, why isn't he getting his, sorry, my neighbors are doing hella much. They're like, why isn't he getting his karma, or why isn't anything happening to him? And that's because he's basically like a magician feeding off of your life force and your energy and stealing your light codes. That's why he's not getting his karma yet. Then they meet these karmics that take them through hell and hot water, and then we're like, oh, we feel so bad for them. Don't feel bad for them. That's their karma for what they did to you. So understand that, okay? Another thing that I also want y'all to understand is, like I said, they use love as a weapon. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play games with her. I'm gonna kind of like have her hanging by a string, have her following me around like a puppy, because it gives them some type of energy. Because a lot of these masculines are mentally ill, they're sick, and because they hate women because of what they saw their mother go through, or they're secretly like undercover like gay and they're not comfortable with their sexuality. They use you as a scapegoat for the feelings that of lack and inadequacy that they have for themselves. All right, so you guys have to also understand that too. It gets deep with the Jedi mind tricks here. So they try to take your power through the heartbreak and the mind games and all that stuff that they play with you. And a lot of these masculines, they know that you're like probably the only solid person in their life, the only person that really cares about them. And they use that to their advantage to keep, holding on to you, to keep you attached to a toxic situation, to keep you wrapped up in fuckery. It's a type of magic. I'm even gonna go so as far as talking about these love spells and shit that these masculines do. Yes, masculines be putting love spells on women. I've had 3 different masculines put love spells on me. And this love spells, it goes even so as far as like some of these masculines are running entire like rings where they meet women and they put like love magic and shit like that on them to get money out of them. Yeah, a lot of y'all have been through that. Like you've had like I had a couple of clients who just recently came to me and they literally had masculines who put magic on them for money so they can stay, or like for papers, for immigration purposes. It happens. Right? So y'all need to also be careful. You're like, I don't know why I can't stop thinking about him and why I can't get away from him. It's magic. He binded you to him so that you wouldn't be able to go off on your own because he needs you for some type of purpose in the material world. Or maybe you're a really good manifester or you're really helpful. So like, oh, you know what? I see her. I know what she can do for me. So let me do magic on her and keep her close to me so that she can help me build my business, help me get my papers, or do this and this and that. A lot of y'all are going through that and you don't even know it. And you're like, why can't I separate myself? That's why they put magic on you. Some of these masculines too, there's actually something that I saw in the news, and this was like an FBI bust of a whole bunch of Nigerian men who were running this type of like ring where they would basically meet these women online, and then they would basically what they would do is they would scam these women out of money, but they were using love spells too. They meet these women online. Oh yeah, I love you. Da, 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 and these women are like cashing out like tens of thousands. I believe that the ring brought in like $6 million, $6 to $10 million. It was some crazy number like that. I want you to go look that up. That's how far this shit is going. Yeah. It's a whole racket where they put love spells on you for you to be attached to them, domination spells, think of me only. And it's like a one-sided like street that these masculines play on with that magic. Be careful. And then remember, I talked about the sex magician shit. They be stealing and harvesting your energy through the sex magic, whether it be physical or in the astral plane. And then they kind of expect, okay, well, shit, I can use her energy for my rituals or for my music or my talents. And, the woman, your womb is very powerful form of magic. It is. It's a receptacle, right? For manifestation. That's why, I tell you guys, be careful who you have sex with. Be careful what you do with your reproductive energy, because that can really impact your manifestation powers in this lifetime, right? So some of these masculines are even a part of secret societies. Yeah. There was one dude I was friends with. I stopped fucking with him. And I just always felt something very weird about him after he got initiated into them secret societies, because you got to get banged in at a certain level. I already knew what they were doing. And I was like, if you get initiated, I can't be friends with you no more. Do you know that this nigga tried to put a spell on me to use me as a talent so he can take my energy? And like, he was just, I just noticed like something very strange. I was like, why are you acting like this? We're friends. Like, that's not going to happen. And I just completely cut his ass off. And I did some spell work to return that shit to him. And he's in a world of pain now. Yeah. These men, I'm telling you, like, they see powerful women. They know your power before you do. And they're jealous of it and they want to take it. Because for them, it's like, how can she be a woman and be so powerful? Because remember, I told you they're misogynist. They believe in certain societal tropes of what a woman should be. And when they see that you have both masculine and feminine power, they want to take it from you. So y'all got to be careful. Okay? Then when these masculines are trapping out with pregnancies, that's a whole other game, because they know that the mother, okay, you know what? She's powerful. She gonna take care of these kids, and I can always have access to her. That's what they do. I've had a couple niggas try to trap me with babies. Like, well, come on now, what is this about? Yeah, because they know that, okay, if they can always have access to you or something like that, that's the best thing for them. And then they still going to running around dealing with karmics. Right? But then what ends up happening is your child becomes spiritually disenfranchised because that person is a karmic and they're low vibrational and they're demonic in nature. So y'all got to be careful with some of these masculines that are also trapping you with babies, talking about, oh, I want to have a family and da-da-da-da-da, and they're showing you who they are. Believe them when they show you who they are. Okay? Because it's not really authentic. It's a way, it's like a power play. It's a way to suck your energy. And I talked about this in the forced pregnancies and forced marriages video, that they're literally harvesting your energy, the energy in your DNA and your spiritual power for their own lineage and purposes, that their lineage is cursed and low vibrational. So you got to pay attention to that. Now, That's the challenge that I have for y'all. Another thing too, ooh, that I was also like discussing is a lot of these masculines too that use love magic on you is because they know eventually like you won't deal with the different up and down cycles and the mind games and manipulation. So they're like, fuck, let me use love magic on her to try to keep her like quiet and subdued, because once she wakes up, when she really wakes up to my game that I actually really hate her, Five of Swords energy, and I'm really jealous of her, she's gonna stop fucking with me, period. I'm gonna lose a feeding source, right? Because I'm telling you, these masculines have like a love-hate relationship with you. They admire you, they love you, but they also hate you because they can't be you. So be mindful of that, okay? Because a lot of these masculines that y'all are dealing with are literally like Five of Swords secret enemy, and you're thinking like, oh, that's my divine partner. No, it's love spells. So I'm gonna go into the reading now, okay? So join me on Patreon. Bye.